Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. There is a Russian fighter by the name of Iman Khataev who resides in Australia, and he had a really entertaining 10-round fight on the undercard of the Kambosos fight over in Australia. Now, this was against Durval Palacio, an Argentinian tough guy, and I mean tough, who came in with 14 wins, 3 defeats. And he'd been stopped once, which was, I think it was a few years ago. I can't remember the opponent, but I've seen this guy before, and he ain't bad. He's one of those, good gatekeeper types. And he really did stretch Khataev, who came into this fight with 9 wins and 9 KOs, no draws, no defeats. And he started like it as well, Khataev did. He was right on Palacio, putting the heat on him. First 2 rounds, loading up big time with the punches, really, really loading up. And you thought, okay, fair enough. Now, Khataev looks kind of muscle-bound, which I never like to see in any kind of fighter. And he was loading up, and I'm thinking, he can't do this for 10 rounds, not at this pace, not with, putting the constant energy into every single punch. And Palacio was noticeably soaking it up. It wasn't like he was being rattled and running, and not a bit of it. He was high guard. And also, when he slung his jab, it was a nice little jab from Palacio. In fact, both these guys have got good jabs, and they showed it, but they didn't jab enough. Certainly in the case of Palacio, when he was jabbing, he was really making Khataev think and reset. But Khataev was still coming forward. And in the 3rd round, the pendulum sort of swang because Palacio started to let his hands go more. And he was clocking Khataev. And Khataev, the one thing you have to say about him is he showed a very, very good chin. In fact, both these guys showed good chins. But Khataev, of course, 9 previous fights, all knockouts. The most he'd ever been, I think, was 7 rounds. So you're thinking, well, this is the questions are being asked, which is good. That's what you want from any fighter. You want that. Then in the 3rd round, after like I say, Palacio had a great round in the 3rd, but in the 4th, Khataev clipped Palacio and put him on the floor. Now Palacio got up, no problem. He wasn't, chronically shaken. It was a genuine knockdown, a legitimate knockdown, and Khataev definitely showed how heavy his hands are. And that he needed that. He needed that to regain the momentum because the pendulum had swung towards Palacio. Palacio regrouped, and in the 5th round, again, probably for the remainder of the fight, Palacio remained highly competitive, really clipping Khataev when he let his hand go. He really clipped Khataev and was pushing him back, and they were clean punches absorbed. Khataev really needs to work on his defence because he won't be able to do this against, serious world-class bangers. He's taking too many punches. Palacio himself has 11 KOs in 14 wins, and he was stinging Khataev, not buzzing him, but stinging him. He was forcing him back. And in the 5th round, I think it was the 5th round, Khataev had a point taken off, so that negated the knockdown in the 4th. He had a point taken off for low blows, and the referee had warned him. The referee was a little bit over officious, is that the word? If he officiated too much, put it that way, a little bit too active. But you can argue that, he should have had a point taken off. It was, and the rest of the fight, you've got the feeling if Palacio had just let more punches go, because he could have done something. He could have won this fight. But for every 3 minutes in each round, you felt Khataev is doing a little bit more in terms of accuracy, in terms of consistency, whereas Palacio's work was more explosive. There'd be these little cameos, these little pockets of where he'd land 3-4 punches and push Khataev back. I think the judges had this too wide, because I think there was an 80. I think there was a couple of 99, 89s in there or something like that, which I completely disagree with. They're giving every round to Khataev. I disagree with that. I had Khataev winning 6-4 in rounds. You take a point off each and it becomes 95, 93. But to say that he won every round, that seems like an exaggeration to me. But But it was a great learning fight for Khataev. He is 30. So you could say, well, he shouldn't be learning now. He should have learned already, but you never stop learning. And also, there is no substitute for doing this under the lights. And Khataev will be better, certainly psychologically, in just for this 10 rounds. He hadn't been 10 rounds before, So it was a good fight, and it was a very entertaining fight as well. So, go and have a look at it. It's on DAZN. Tell me what you think about Khataev. He is very heavy-handed, but you can see there are flaws, especially defensive flaws, that he's going to have to work on. And as for Palacio, he'll always get work because he's a tough little bastard. They both are tough. But go and have a look. Tell me what you think. And thank you very much for watching. Please leave your comments below. I'd like to have a read of them. And also, if you can subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you like the video, that'd be great too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, more to come from Australia. You take care.